Good morning, everybody. Hi, Lori. Happy Friday. Nice to see you on here this morning. I was thinking this week of what my schedule was like, and I have Fridays off, and I didn't have anything going on this morning, so I thought, well, why don't I do a live? Normally, I'm a nighttime live person, and this is early for me to get my brain going, but so we'll see how it goes. But I thought, well, let's try to fit one in the morning. So I'm glad I'm here to start your weekend off right. Thanks, Lori. um, I'm going to be working in my December album again. Let me open up. This is my Iris case that I have all my December goodies in. So I am doing a um, December to Remember album. This is from 2020, so last year's December memories. And it's just an 8x8 album. And this was the page I did the other night. Really quick and simple. I put a photo on this card that says a December to Remember. So that's my title. And then I put it in one of these peekaboo pockets so that I can flip it up, and I'm going to do some journaling underneath and add another photo here. Um, but it's a great way if you have a lot of journaling. I really didn't want the journaling to be front and center on the page, but I do want to tell my story of why I like to make this album, or why um, all these Christmas traditions are important for me to document. So doing a nice space for journaling here is a great way to add a big story without making it the highlight of the page. And then this was the other layout that I made during my live on Wednesday night, just showing off my hot cocoa bombs that I made last year, which were a lot of fun. If you haven't had a chance to try these, just eating them is amazing. But if you have a chance to make them, they're a lot of fun to make. So I have these photos to work with today. I'm going to do it's just pictures of Christmas around the house. So I printed them just on one 4x6 canvas. I just used my Canon Selfie. So I found a collage that had 6 photos. And so then I was able to make each one about 2x2 and print all 6 of them on one canvas. And because they're just little things about Christmas around the house. And then I'm going to do that on this layout. So I don't need to have big photos. And it's an 8x8 album, so little photos are key because I don't have a lot of space. So first I'm going to start by just flipping through the cards to see if there's anything um, that would work with these. Season's greetings I'm probably going to save when I do my Christmas card, but I'm just checking to see if there's any titles that Joy to the World could be for anything. Merry Christmas to You, that could be for my Christmas card. I don't think any of these have titles. So none of these are really like, ooh, I have to use it. That has to be on that page. But I always want to check through these first to make sure I don't miss something here. I'll set them aside. It might be something that I use. And I haven't even looked at the stickers, so maybe there's a sticker in here that something I'm looking for. Oh, Deck the Halls. That would be perfect. So I will try to use that one because that is what this layout is going to be all about, is decking the halls. Okay, so that sticker is gray with green. So now I'm just going to look and see in my papers that I'm using if there's anything that stands out. There's this green here, and there's a lot of green in this photo, so maybe I'll use that one. Oh, that's really pretty. Very busy though, and there's a lot going on in these photos, so I think that's a little too much. Let's see what else. This navy, that's fun. Oh, I like that because there's a blue in here. I think I'm going to go with that one. I have no idea what I'm doing. It's just a fly by the seat of my pants kind of project, which I love. Okay, so I'm going to start by cutting out my photos because I want to arrange them separately. How's everybody doing this morning? Feel free to ask me questions or anything. This is, I think, probably my third year doing a December album. I think for a couple of years, I just spent December watching everyone's December daily videos on YouTube. And if you haven't done that before, it's a lot of fun. Even if you're not doing a December daily album, it just really gets you in the Christmas spirit to see somebody crafting every day. And, you know, to be honest, that to me is overwhelming with all the things going on during this season. To think about having to scrapbook every day just sounds like too much of a task. So I've never done it that way. Typically, I do my album in January. And last January, I just wasn't in the mood to scrapbook December because last year was a rough year, and I just didn't feel like it. So now I kind of feel like it, and I had the album, and I bought this new paper, so I thought, yeah, I'm going to do it, and it'll get me in the holiday spirit for this year. So things that I will be capturing on my layouts are me making my Christmas cards. I already did the hot cocoa crafting. I mean the hot cocoa bombs. I already did my tree lighting, and I need to find it because it's still packed up with last weekend's crop stuff. So, you know, all those kinds of things. I didn't do something every day last December. In fact, I really didn't do much at all. We were, you know, in the middle of a pandemic, and a lot of events that I would have typically done in December didn't happen. So that was part of the reason I just felt like, oh, I'm not doing anything this month. Why do I need to do an album? So I cut this to 8 by 8, but it's really busy. I don't think I will. I think I'm going to trim it down and then just have like a white border around it. So I'm going to trim it down to 7.5 by 7.5. And then I'm going to cut from corner to corner. So I am going to line this up the best I can. And I'm grabbing a piece of white just because I am not working in my album because I'm not sure of the order that all these pages are going to go in. So I don't want to adhere them to the pages. And those are the kinds of pages that I have in this album. So I am building my layouts separately, and then I'll put them in later once I get everything done and figure out the order. So I do have a white base for this. Hi, Michelle. Good morning. Hey, Karen. Karen, this is much more your timeline. Doing a morning layout. My brain is not awake yet. I'm not sure what time my brain wakes up, but 9 a.m. is not it. It's nice when I get to work. I work at a public library, and I get there at 9. But at 9 a.m., I'm just checking emails because my brain is not ready. And I'm a children's librarian, so my brain does need to be ready when those kiddos show up. So it's good. I get there early, I check emails, drink my tea. So once the kids get there, I'm alert. Okay, so I trimmed my paper down to 7.5 by 7.5 to give me that white frame around it. I just wanted something to kind of calm down the busyness a little bit. And then I just cut it in half and flipped over one side so I'm getting both the patterns on here. I just thought that would be kind of nice to do. I'm gonna grab another piece of white and I am gonna mat all of my photos. I know I cut them up separately and now I'm putting them back together again, which doesn't make any sense, but that's what I'm doing. I guess I'm kind of rearranging the order. So my photos here, they're really tiny, but I have this little one here is just a picture of the shelf in my kitchen. And it's the shelf that has all my cookbooks. So I did decorate it a little bit, and I have a couple of Christmas cookbooks that I kind of put out, and then I changed my chalkboard, and I put out a couple of my Christmas dishes and everything, and just dressed up that shelf. It was the first thing I did last season, and it made me so happy to come into my kitchen and see this little decorated shelf. So I'm definitely going to be doing that probably this week. I'll start sprinkling Christmas around the house. I also have just a picture of the house outside with the lights on it. I have a picture of a new Christmas dish that I bought myself. I have the Spode Christmas tree dishes, and my mom usually always gets me something new for the collection, but I always go to Marshall's and treat myself to something new each year. This is a funny little watercolor that I made. I have a kind of rotating gallery of art in my bathroom upstairs. And so we love the movie Elf. And so I did a little watercolor of Mr. Narwhal saying, "Bye, buddy. Hope you find your dad." So that's another one on there. I have my dog Bellatrix sitting in front of the fire with the Christmas tree in the background. Um, she loves to sit in front of the wood stove, and she does that all winter long. And then I have these really pretty gift boxes. I think it was a Hickory Farms thing that my dad sent me, but it was just so pretty sitting on the table. And I have like a vintage Christmas tablecloth in the background. It was just a pretty little photo. So it's just little photos of things Christmas around the house. And it's a nice way to kind of highlight all those little things. If you don't have photos that you could make tiny, you could just punch small squares out of all of your different photos, just to highlight different parts. All right, so there I have my little collage. And you know what's fun about this album is it doesn't require a lot of journaling. You could certainly journal more if you want to, depending on the layout. I am going to try to make some interactive pages. I did an album a couple of years ago that was very interactive and I really enjoyed it. So I just haven't gotten there with my brain yet, but hopefully in the next couple of days I'll figure out a few different interactive layouts that I can make. These aren't spaced very evenly, but it's okay. So I'm going to see, I don't have enough letters here to spell out anything. H, no, I don't have enough there. See if I can use any of these. Not really. So I can put this here, deck the halls. I think what I'll do is do some journaling along the side. I'm just going to use a scrap piece of paper. I know, Lori, why couldn't I have left the original? That is a very good question. I should have. I had this plan that I was going to have them in a row, and so I don't know. I thought that I needed to cut them all up, and then when I realized, yeah, who knows? I just caused myself a lot of extra work for absolutely no reason. Thank you for noticing that. Yeah, um, I wasn't. I don't know why I did it that way, but that's what I did. So So I'm going to do my journaling, and usually I don't do my journaling live, but this is really basic journaling. So I'm just going to say, love sprinkling Christmas throughout the house. Really simple. Certainly I could say more if I want to, but that's all I wanted to say. I just love that idea of sprinkling it throughout the house. I don't go crazy with decorations because I learned that not only am I the one that's setting it all up, but I am the one that's taking it all down. And I'm not in the mood to take down decorations in January. And so then it becomes February that they're all still up and it's annoying me. So I just do small bits and pieces here and there. And it makes me happy. So just, I love this easy technique of just jotting down your journaling on strips of paper and then cutting them out because it's an easy way to fit them on your layout depending on what you have to say. Now I'm going to grab, maybe I'll grab these little holly leaves, tuck them behind my journaling a little bit. Nope, don't like that. I'll do it up here. Yeah, that's good as a little photo corner. So very simple, but it's an 8x8 page, so it really doesn't need to have a lot to it. But this gives you an idea. You can easily translate this into a 12 by 12 because it's really just a mini 12 by 12. It just sometimes feels like you have less room to work with. Yeah, Carrie Ann, that would have been smart for me to keep the 6 photos together. I don't know. I haven't had any coffee yet today, so that's probably part of the reason. Um, and I should have, I printed it as a 4x6 horizontally, and then I wanted vertically. Who knows? But I will know for next time because I'm guessing I'll do a lot of small photos like this. I made a list last night. I went through my phone and made a list of all the photos that I have stories that I want in my December album. So I have kind of a game plan, and I'm just looking here to see. Got my little dots. I think I'll add a couple of these because why not? They're just sitting here. Yeah, simple, very simple layout. And that's really how most of the album will be. I think I have an idea for an interactive layout for my Christmas tree page, so that's gonna come up next probably. But like I said, I'm making all my pages standalones so then I can put them in order or whatever order I decide that I want to do in my album. Once I have it all done, I'll just kind of fit them all in and put them the way that I want. So that's my layout for today. Thank you very much for joining me on this Friday morning. Yeah, Carrie Ann, this would be very easy to do as a 12 by 12. And you could even, like you said, make the whole thing as make it as an 8 by 8 and then put this on a 12 by 12 piece of paper. Let me grab one. Not the right color or anything. Well, actually, it isn't bad. But, you could make something like this and then put this on a 12 by 12 and just add another strip of paper behind it or something. And that would be really pretty too. So if you were doing a 12 by 12 but wanted to do something kind of small this way, that'd be a lot of fun. One year for Christmas, I made a 6 by 6 page and sent that out as my Christmas card. And that was a lot of fun. It was expensive because square postage is more than normal. So it ended up costing me much more than I expected because I send out about 100 cards. Um, but it was a lot of fun making a little tiny scrapbook page for everybody. Thank you guys so much for joining me on this Friday morning. I hope you have time to do something crafty this weekend or creative. I know there's a lot of craft fairs going on all over New England, so maybe you'll have a chance to go out to a craft fair and support some local artists. Or get started on your holiday season. And we've got Thanksgiving coming up, so lots of shopping and baking and family time. Take lots of pictures, enjoy it. I'll see you back here soon. Thanks, everybody.